Bruce Money from Thermal and a Quarter, and welcome to another episode of Song Stories, Quarantine Edition. Today we'll talk about the song Distance from our just released album, A World Gone Mad. Since the release of A World Gone Mad a couple of weeks ago, we've been getting a lot of notes and comments about just how relevant the album seems to be to the times that we're living in right now. And people asking us, did we write and produce these songs across the last few months, to try and reflect everything that was going on around the world and so on? Well, I wrote all the lyrics to the songs on the album in 2016, and barring some very minor corrections and edits that have happened through the songwriting process, they're essentially the same words from 4 years ago. So no, we did not plan for these songs of this album to be this relevant, and we can't even, claim that it was a happy accident, because it clearly isn't. You heard me call this the quarantine edition of the Song Story series, and here I am in my little home setup without some of the bells and whistles that you've seen in the studio that we have. Very much like so many other YouTubers, late night hosts and so on, who are doing this from their homes. Yeah, and for us privileged folks, not on any of the front lines of hunger, homelessness or poverty, or on the other front lines of battling this pandemic from the actual trenches, the hospitals and nursing homes. Yeah, we're still making it look kind of easy. Hopefully when this is over, we'll have learned to value these things more, and even perhaps recalibrate the distance that we keep from these front lines. Yeah, I hope that happens. Speaking of the lyrics on Distance, well, I've always been a huge fan of sci-fi, science fiction, books and movies. Writers like Ian Banks, Ray Bradbury, Peter F. Hamilton, Adrian Tchaikovsky, Arthur C. Clarke, of course, and so many others. And if you haven't checked out the works of these guys, you owe it to yourself to do that. And I guess it's some of those perspectives that informed the lyrics. And the song truly is a kind of celebration of the human mind, how we conceive of the grandest ideas, how we build gargantuan contraptions to measure the tiniest deviations in space-time, how we speculate on the information plastered on the event horizons of black holes, and how at another level we passionately hold on to irrational beliefs and unkind contradictions, persist in meaningless, superficial discrimination of our own species, and holding on to petty hatreds and stupidity. Well, that's being human, I guess. Coming to some of the musical ideas in the song, I wanted to use the context of the lyrics to inspire how I worked with the chords and the rhythms of the song, and so to have unusual distances between the chords and maybe even the rhythms. For example, in the verse figure, the guitar part actually has a polyrhythm where the bass notes are going in 3, so it's a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and the treble notes are going in 4, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so I thought that would create a sort of interesting imbalance in how the song was perceived. In the chorus, for example, in terms of harmonic distance, it starts with distance, distance. Yeah, so figuratively speaking, it's a C major going to an F sharp 6, so physically it's a very nearby position to access, but in terms of key and tonality, they're really quite far apart, those two chords. So it was interesting to try and use the context of the lyrics to inform how the harmonies and the song structure progressed. So it was an interesting song to write. Leslie, who produced and mixed the song, also used this lyrical context to inform how he produced and mixed the track. So if you notice, the verses are really kind of up close and personal, and the choruses are this big arena rock kind of thing. And And the solo, well, lots has been said about that solo already, and that's totally in that zone. And Tony Das is really killing it on that one. He's going to show up pretty soon to talk a little bit more about that. Distance wasn't the easiest song to write. It wasn't the one that took the longest. The credit for that goes to Believe It All, which I think took almost a year to finish. But I do remember with Distance that at one point we had painted ourselves into a kind of creative cul-de-sac, if you will. And I was digging through some of the archives, and I found an early demo that I'd made and to show the guys, and which had a very different version of the pre-chorus. See if you can spot it. This is the same. So this was intact. This was the same. I was playing it a bit differently than Tony does. Far, far into the middle, locus brings focus, push away everything, everyone. You do what you must. Yeah, so I remember we worked with that for a little while. You know how it is, you spend some time, you massage it, and you try it, and then it just doesn't happen. Listening to it now, it doesn't sound that bad, but Leslie was right in calling it a bit too classical, maybe. And so, yeah, we spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to move past that pre-chorus and into the chorus. And, well, we eventually ditched this, and the part we came up with is what's on the recording, which I think does work better. I did manage to arm twist Mr. Tony Das into using some of his distinctive filmmaking skills to deliver a set of videos on his parts in the song and how he thought through them and how he came up with them and stuff. So over to you, Mr. Das.
From this porthole, small circle.
I'm not doing anything. I don't know why I was mouthing those words. I'm not doing it.
Spinning in black velvet, keep warm in the cold. Don't give up the fight. Go brave into the unknown, right into the moonset.
Hey everyone, this is Tony with Thermal and a Quarter. So, coffee. Down to the song. So more than I think a lyrical interpretation or getting too deep into that side of things, I kind of want to talk about the music a little bit more, especially from the perspective of me. The process for the most part is Bruce will come in with a song pretty much fully done, from start to finish, a lot of the time. Lyrically also, everything's there. And at which point it's our job to kind of fit ourselves into the song. We come up with parts that kind of enhance what the song is trying to do without stepping on everyone else's toes or stepping on the song's toes. Thanks to all of you who have said nice things about the solo. It was something that I used to when we were doing the song, I used to just jam something and say, I'll put down something more concrete later, and that didn't happen. So I just used to kind of jam it each time. So when it came time to record it, there wasn't really something in mind, but I knew I kind of wanted it to be kind of frenetic and slightly urgent. I think the backing for the solo is kind of sparse, so I don't think you're going to have too much trouble figuring out what I'm playing. But what it is it kind of starts with that melody that we're repeating throughout the song that Bruce is singing and that I'm playing in unison with him, but a slightly more aggressive version of that. There's a little bit more distortion, etc., etc. So it goes like, and there's a little more, and there's a little more whammy also. Then I ditch the whammy, fling it out of the way with all the theatricalness that I can. And then it goes into a kind of a syncopated, more rhythmic sort of thing. That's that phrase there. I think I must have whacked that from Nuno Betancourt. And then yeah, so that's about it for today's song story. And thanks for staying around and watching. Once again, sorry for the weird fish eye and blur that's happening here, but I think we could communicate what needed to be communicated. Then well, hopefully we'll take this show on the road. We were just about to do that before this all hit. We were ready to tour the album. Positive side is that now you'll know all the songs, and so you'll be familiar with them and you can sing along. So what more do we want than to have a bunch of drunk people sing out of tune and out of time with us at every gig? I'm just kidding. I know you're not drunk. Anyway, thanks you guys, and stay safe and be good. Don't do stupid things, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Thanks, Tony. So there you have it. That's how we got the song Distance together. If you haven't already, you should check out the very cool lyric video for the song that's been made by a chap called Siddharth Gautam, who, by the way, is a monster guitar player. If you haven't checked his playing out yet, you should do that. You can listen to the song on Spotify, on Apple. Links to the song and to the video are in the description box below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing that. We should be back to our schedule of putting out a new video every week. Till then, well, stay safe, stay at home, wash your hands, and thanks for watching.